Joining us in the mobile studio today is actually Mr. Khelli Leitch, athletic director for Columbia City High School. First off, how are you doing today, Khelli?
I'm doing fantastic. So we're a couple days away from spring break, so that makes it even better, right?
You know, it really does. It really does. Just to dive right in on things. New school, new facilities. You have a beautiful office that I love right beside the gym. We're finally getting audiences back. It's been a unique year. How are the new facilities treating the coaches? How are they treating the staff here?
Okay, so speaking in terms of new facilities, this has been great, obviously. We've gone from the old to now the new.
Absolutely gorgeous.
They are beautiful. Highlighting first and foremost the turf field, which a lot of our coaches and our sports, our teams have grown to love. It's been awesome. It looks awesome. It's kind of one of the eye-opening things that you see as soon as you come in, so that's been really nice. I would point out that obviously, football and soccer are located on that field. That's their game day field. But it's been really nice to have our other teams out there, like softball and baseball, can go and hit right on that field balls if you know their field could be wet.
Yep.
And they can't get on it. Well, the turf field's always going to be something that you can get on and use, because even after a big rainfall, minutes later, it's ready to go.
So a more not just faster field for when playing and performing, but also for a practicality and use standpoint, little benefits that I never thought that our athletes would get to reap the rewards of. I know there was some back and forth like, hey, do we want to go turf field when all this was getting set up originally? I'm glad the answer, from the sounds of it, is yes.
I would say we get more out of it from a practice standpoint than we do a game day standpoint, for sure.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So we just wrapped up basketball season. We're looking at track and field. We're looking at baseball as we get into. What are you looking forward to?
So first and foremost, I just want to hit on the fact that, transitioning from winter to spring, the obvious big one for us is that fans are starting to come back. We're at 50% capacity right now for all of our outdoor events, which is larger than what we've been prior to now. So that's the big thing, just kind of seeing our people come back. But I would like to point out before going to that we were provided the task and given the opportunity to host basketball sectionals for boys and girls. And at that time, we were allowed a capacity of 25% in our gym. And I think you started to see a little bit with those games what this gymnasium can really be. And it was awesome. It was a great environment. I know that our boys didn't play in a championship game, but that New Haven Homestead game had a really large crowd here. And the place was loud compared to what we saw throughout the first 3 quarters of the season for both boys and girls basketball. So I'm really encouraged by that, and I know that when we actually host the game that we're actually playing in,
right,
where we're at full capacity, it's going to be amazing. And we have gotten so many great compliments on that gym, and it's not just from our own people. We get so many compliments from the other schools that, the one thing that I heard several times that is really reassuring to me and refreshing to hear is that, a lot of these new schools you go into, you don't get a nice basketball gym. Mm-hmm. You just get the standard box gym, and that we nailed it and we got it right. And I heard that from several schools that came here to play, that you guys got it right with the gym. This has a basketball feel to it. It has an arena feel to it, and that's encouraging to me, Yeah. And obviously we don't just play basketball in there, but you get the same feel in a volleyball game. So, and going out to the spring sports, obviously we're playing on 2 brand new fields that we haven't touched yet. So that's huge for us. The baseball field, softball field. We had lights on our baseball field the other night for
crazy, right?
And it was a wow factor for sure. And we haven't had lights before, so that was a big wow factor for us. So it's been nice to start to open those fields. We're still a little way from opening up the softball field. I think their home games after spring break. But again, excited for that. The other teams that are out, tennis and track, and those facilities have already been used. But for track, all their equipment has finally come out of storage And so we're getting to use all that brand new equipment. So the kids are pretty excited. You've got hurdles, pole vault pits, high jump pits that haven't been used yet. So all that stuff's being used now. The tennis courts have obviously been already used in the fall. So we're kind of back to using those again with the girls instead of boys. So all of that has been exciting. And of course we have golf, and they're using the same facility they've always used. So yeah, we're looking for a great spring and kind of opening up some more of our facilities, and looking forward to having some more fans.
Shout out to the golf team, of course, this year. Great coaching, great competition among the players, helping them sharpen each other. Just a little inside scoop on there. Something to be looking out for. Now, tell me about this. Perhaps you know, perhaps you don't. Is there stats that support when you get new facilities and players get to use new equipment? Do their stats improve overall? Are we looking at, like, I know golf for sure, natural raw talent there. Are we looking at, maybe you can provide me a little insight. What are you excited for? Is that a thing that you get a new court and all of a sudden the team does better shooting free throws? Is there, do we get more, kills during volleyball? Do home runs go up? I'm curious to know, because it feels like the teams, maybe it's just they want to be back more, but just my casual observation in the little highlight videos and stuff that we've been shooting and stuff, but it feels like the kids are performing better. Have you seen that yourself, or is it just me?
Well, kids could very well be performing better. I will say no. It has nothing probably to do with their facilities, other than it does provide. Being here at this new school has provided our athletes with a sense of pride. And maybe that's probably more what you're seeing, that maybe they have more pride in what they're doing. But in terms of, do they make more shots because they're here, or do they hit more home runs, or, do they spike more volleyballs or get more aces and whatnot? I would say no, not for the most part. I would say that there are cases where the facility does improve performance a little bit,
sure,
but that's case by case. For instance, football, there's a little more speed that comes to a turf field. Yeah. Does that make you
I'm going to say it does. I'm going to say it does.
And in track, the surface that we have for track, I would argue, yes, track athletes could be quicker on the surface we have here compared to the surface we had at the old school. But again, that's a case by case basis. As far as the gym goes, you're playing in a gym still, same dimensions. Mm-hmm. Kids are going to get better because they've worked hard and worked harder, not necessarily.
And maybe there's the coming back from COVID and actually getting to play and like, hey, I missed out on a year of this. Either way.
There's a lot of not taking it for granted, right? So that could be a case of where our kids are just not going to take it for granted right now. We're back and we're going to play, and we're going to play hard.
All right, we have another class here to begin. Mr. Khelli Leitch, Athletic Director with Columbia City High School. Always good to chat with you. I look forward to, as we get further into spring and summer sports, maybe doing a little check-in with you here at WJHS. That being said, thank you for joining us. If you want to check out any of the athletic events for soccer, for upcoming track and field, for baseball, of course, the schedules are posted online at the WCCSonline.com webpage. Always up to date, always fresh right there. Of course, follow us on social media. Shameless plug. Look forward to broadcasting more games as well right here on WJHS 91.5.
Thank you for having me.